I am not super comfortable doing video, but I'm doing it because my girlfriend said I needed to make a video to talk about the planner, because I can do an Instagram post, but it doesn't necessarily convey the story behind the planner. In fact, it really doesn't. And most people don't read past whatever is on the graphic, and if there's a caption, maybe the first couple lines. So the story of the planner is, in 2015, God gave me the idea to make a planner for people like me. I'm a recovering perfectionist, and I'm also a recovering procrastinator. And in 2015, he walked me through some, I don't know, it's silly. Like, I didn't think I needed healing in either of those areas. Like, I just had kind of accepted, I have some OCD tendencies, and I'd accepted that I struggled to get projects done. And that's just, I was okay with it. But the really cool, one of the many really cool things about God, it's not the only really cool thing about him, is wherever you are, he meets you there, but he doesn't leave you there. He invites you to go into deeper freedom. And for everybody, that looks different. And I guess for me in that particular season, it looked like me dealing with perfectionism and procrastination. And it was a really good time for me to go through it, because I had 1-year-old twins at that point, and I really needed to learn how to do life without getting paralyzed by the fear of not being perfect, and then get paralyzed in putting everything off for another time. Like, I'll just do it later, and not getting anything done. So in 2015, he gave me the idea of just finishing, like, just finish the work. I've called you to do this, just finish it. And the scripture he gave me was from Matthew, and it's the parable of the talents. And there's 2 different verses where the landowner tells 2 of the 3 servants, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." And what God really told me to look up, and I researched, like, full on did the definition of each word, well and done. And what God told me was, well, I am busy worrying about how well I finish something. He just wants it to be done. Like, just be obedient. Just get it done. And then I researched the word well, and it just means good, right? I'm obsessed with perfection and analytics and likes and shares and comments. And he's like, just do the thing, like, get it done. So that led to the development of 100 days of Finish the Work. Pretty cool concept. I can say that because I didn't come up with it. It was all God. Of, you have 10 things that you want to change, drop, implement, start, try, whatever. And you spend 10 days in a row on one thing at a time. And if you happen to be wanting to do a project, you would break it up. So you couldn't spend 20 consecutive days on it. And I felt pretty good with that. I was like, cool. I even made a cute little PDF to go with it. But that wasn't the end of it. It was, the next call was to make a planner with that in mind. And I sketched out a planner in 2016. I tried to hand it off to somebody else, actually 2 somebodies, because it's not my thing. Like, I'm a math teacher, I'm a mom, and I'm a fitness teacher. Speaking of being a mom. Yes. Remember, I told you after you ate I had to do my video.
It won't let me do nothing.
Well, you can find something to do for a couple minutes.
Nothing.
Cierra la puerta, por favor.
I don't know what to do.
You have 2 brothers. You have Legos, you have blocks, you have coloring books. You have magnets.
Magnets is lost.
They're not lost, Mijo. You put them away.
Oh no, because teacher been missing them up. He put in a toy box.
Can you take it out of the toy box?
I did. He did, but then he been lost in arrest.
Can you please work it out? I will be inside in just a couple minutes.
I have nothing to do.
Cierra la puerta.
What am I gonna do?
No sé, figure it out.
He copied me.
¿Quién?
And
David, déjalo.
Stop copying me, DJ.
And one of the reasons it took me 3 years to go from conception to a finished product. But, I mean, that's life. So that will not be getting edited out. Okay, so I tried to give the project to 2 different people and was hoping that they could run with it. Like, I didn't even care if I got credit for it or not. But God shut that down both times. So I accepted that I was supposed to be the one to create it. I tried to go a cheap route and tried one online web-based software program, but it really wasn't user-friendly. And I sucked it up and I went with Adobe for InDesign, and I spent a year and a half learning as I went, finishing each portion of the planner. And now it's ready to go.
Mommy, you're sticking your penis up.
Hey! Cierra la puerta, that's enough.
No, Mommy. Where? Mommy.
¿Qué quieres?
Andrew and Deacon been laughing at me.
Okay, I think you need to go potty.
No, I don't.
Don't know if you could hear that conversation or just one-sided for you. Sidebar, anyone else have to convince their children they need to go to the restroom even though like it's really evident they need to go to the restroom? I know I can't be the only one. Anyways, now that it's time for the planner to go to print, the truth of the matter is I don't have the resources to have inventory. There's people I know who've made planners and they get them produced in China, super duper cheap, so they're able to order them in bulk and they store them in their house. And that's not me. I'm a mom and a school teacher, and I don't have the physical space to store planners, and I don't have the capital like to just end up with planners. So I'm doing pre-orders. I'm meeting with the printer on Monday to finalize page count. I think I actually call them spread count, but page count, what the cover is going to look like, talk about a prototype, and that way I can take pictures and share it with everybody. But it would be about a 2 to 3 week time frame from the day you order your planner to them creating it, me getting it, me shipping it to you. And just because I'm me on my own and all those other roles I told you about, like, I'm not even going to go through our Shopify site because I'm going to get dinged by Shopify for their fee and then dinged by PayPal for their fee. And I'm trying to keep the cost as low as possible and not come out of pocket. A girlfriend of mine is trying to convince me it's okay to make money on a God project. But this is my first go around. I'm not trying to make a gazillion dollars off of this. And I think I'm charging a pretty reasonable price. Like I don't think it's like you can't personalize it like an Erin Condren. It is what it is. It looks how it looks. But you can make it like you can prettify it your way with your washi tape and your pens and all the things. A couple of things that you need to know about the planner that make it different from other planners. First things first. It starts with February. It goes from February of 2019 and goes to January of 2020. And so not my idea, but God said that it's for procrastinators. And so he thought that was funny, and I really did too. So it starts in February. I almost made it start in March, but I thought that was pushing it a little too far. So it starts in February. It goes from February of 2019 to January 2020. Within the planner, the Finish the Work project that God gave me back in 2015, is in the planner. It's weaved into it 3 times throughout the year. So it's in 4-month increments. So it's not quarters, it's not 3 months, it's 4 months. So it's in thirds. So you'd have 3 months would be 9, 9 focuses. And then the 4th month, you'd have 1 full focus, and then you'd have 2 grace focuses, where you could just throw something in there, like purely passion, fun, or if you feel that there's a focus from the first 10 that you want to revisit, then you could do it during one of the grace focuses. I'm trying to think. Oh, the week starts with Sunday. Most planners start with Monday, but this planner, the Week at a Glance, starts on Sunday. There's a place for a gratitude list every day, praise, prayer in the Week at a Glance, and there's memory verse that you can write down for a Week at a Glance. I'm trying to think of all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff in the planner. I think it's pretty cool. Pretty much what God told me to do was to create a planner for myself. I've purchased planners over the years. I've had some that I really liked, but there was always something that I would add. Like I would throw in other notes and things like that on sticky Post-its or whatever. And so this is a planner for people like me who are trying to overcome perfectionism and move past procrastination and just get stuff done. And it's so weird though, because even getting the stuff done isn't even so much the focus, it's the heart behind it, right? Like it's not out of obligation, it's out of partnering with God. And so it's totally grace-filled. I mean, when I see the planner, I think of like a guidebook to grace-filled living. If I did a tagline for it, that's probably what it'd be. That's actually the tagline for my blog that I very, very rarely write on. I'm looking at my notes. I wrote notes so I wouldn't get off topic, but clearly I did because we're at 12 minutes. And then there was kids. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and stop this here. I'm going to post this. And if you have questions, please ask questions. If you are interested in the planner and you're like, I think that might be for me, or you know a procrastinating perfectionist. Perhaps they don't even know they're a perfectionist. They just procrastinate all the time and they haven't realized that the root of the problem is the lie of perfectionism. Because procrastination is just the flip side of perfectionism. It's like a coping mechanism to deal with the perfectionism. You're just like, forget it all. I'm just not gonna do anything until the last minute, and whatever happens, it's acceptable because I waited till the last minute. It might not be perfect, but at least it's done. And I didn't spend a whole lot of energy on it. I know that's what I told myself for years. So, 13 minutes. I'm out. I hope you guys are, this is Saturday. Y'all, Thanksgiving break messes me up. I forget what day it is. But I pray you have a blessed Saturday wherever you are. And if this is speaking to you or it sounds like somebody you know and love, go ahead and comment. Let me know that you want to pre-order.